Welcome to Train Masters Productions. For the fourth train of Christmas, I'll be reviewing this Atlas New York Central GP7. So, let's get rolling. Just to let you know, this engine is not my engine. It's my grandpa's engine. And this is not my layout either. This is my grandpa's layout. Oh, that clicking is my dog, Bucky. But, so let's talk about the real GP7. GP7 was built in 1949. It was the first of the GP series, general purpose, and the Alco RS series was very popular. Alco was selling a lot of them. So EMD, Electromotive Division, EMD's General Electric's Electromotive Division, they built this engine, the GP7. Now, most EMD engines at the time were, if you had a choice between units, you had E and F units. F units had 8 wheels. E units had 12. But they had, if you were going to walk from the cab to another point, you couldn't walk between the cab, and over here you see there's a walkway. E and F units didn't have this, but the Jeeps and RS3s. The Jeep is a GP series locomotive. SD units. Now, I don't think they're commonly called that, but this is an SD 70 Mac. It's my grandpa's engine too. Pretty much all the stuff on his layout are his. Here's his layout. It's a really nice layout. Mine is, I think, slightly bigger, but we both have nice layouts. So this is an SD70M, and it has 12 wheels. Back to the GP9, this one has 8. SD stands for Special Duty. GP stands for General Purpose. My grandpa has actually a couple of GP7s and 9s. Most of them are conventional, but this is Command. Command uses a remote. Conventional does not, usually using a transformer. But I've seen some Bachmann controls they're not remotes, but they are a command control. So it is sent digitally. Command control messages are sent digitally. And conventional, sometimes also called analog, are not. Okay, so let's talk about, I think we've talked about the engine and about conventional and command. Now let's talk about, Atlas's version. So Atlas came out with these this year, I think in the summer or the fall. This engine has a lot of details. Now, this engine is TMCC equipped. You could run it with a legacy controller, but you won't have the full legacy features. My legacy GP35, I have some legacy engines. I have Line Chief Plus 2.0, and it's similar to that. This engine is not Bluetooth equipped, though, because it's Atlas. But you could run it with legacy remote, but a full legacy engine like, say, my GP35. Now, my GP35 is also a Jeep but I had a short on that. A short video, not a short circuit. But I have a short video. Okay, now we've talked about some stuff with the more models in the real version. Let's take a closer look. Here's the front truck. You can see the pilot, the truck, some step details, a coupler cut bar, and a drop plate. Now, drop plates on steam engines, they had them too, but diesels had them. Some diesels had them too, and that, like a steam engine, the drop plate allowed the crew to walk together. And the reason, if you couple two of these together, it wouldn't fit, because the coupler is not scale. It's way bigger than usual. A scale coupler. Now, I'll show you what a scale coupler size is. Here's a New York Central J1E Hudson. And it has a scale coupler. Here's the O-gauge coupler. This is an electro coupler, so it can be thrown from a legacy or TMCC remote. Also, here's the brake hoses. Brake hoses and MU hoses, and a brake hose allowed the air brakes to couple up from engine to car, or engine to engine, or car to car. But MU hose, so one throttle would control all the prime movers in traction motor systems. The traction motors are electric motors, and then the prime mover is actually the engine. But it would copy the same commands. That's how they ran A unit to B unit. Because B units have no cabs, A units do. But here are some drainage pipes, and that allowed water to drain through the walkways. Now, in real life, this was necessary, but these are electric model trains, and you're not going to be raining or snowing actual water there, but it's more realistic. You can see them, but I think they go all the way down through. Here is a small, like an F mark, and it's like this F means that over here, that indicates that this is the front of the locomotive, because some Jeeps ran long hood forward, like this one, and others ran short hood forward. We'll talk more about that later. Here are some air tanks over here for the brakes, fuel fill cap, fuel gauge, and the tank. And those tanks were used to store air. And under here, this is a fuel tank. This is how they store diesel fuel. There's something over here. I'm not so sure what that is. Actually, I think I do know what that is. This is an emergency fuel cutout switch. If, say, your prime mover had a problem, or let's say the engine's on fire, the prime mover's on fire, and to stop the fire, if, like, let's say it's working, it's, like, not on fire, but, like, it's dangerous. Let's say it's not working properly, and you have to stop it. The fuel is how we power it. So you would just cut out the fuel. I'm not sure what that does. My guess would be it would cut the fuel line. I'm not so sure. Back here we have some General Motors. It's building it, showing General Motors. Here is a pickup roller, some brake shoes, the other truck. Here is the window, crew figure, wiper. Here's the side of the engine. Here's the handrails for the walkways. Here's the front of the engine, and there's a lot of details on it. Now there's lights, grab irons, steps, chains, a lot of things. Here's the top of the locomotive. You can see more grab irons, fans, and there is, I'm not sure what that box is. It's like a box. I'm not so sure what that is. Here's a horn, more walkways, not walkways, more handrails. But there's another box over there. I'm not sure what it's for. But here are the fans, and those cooled off the prime mover, and if you blow them, they actually spin. It's difficult to do this one, but they are free spinning. Here's the top at the back of the engine, cab roof, more fans. Here's the smokestack, and if I take it off, hold on, you can see this, and the smoke unit would fit. It would go up and then into the dual smokestacks. Here's the smoke unit of the locomotive, and if you were to fill smoke through here, this is how you did it. So you just pour smoke fluid down there. Now, I don't run smoke, but my grandpa does, so that's why you'll see the locomotive smoking. Okay, so what does long hood and short hood forward mean? Well, remember I showed you the F and the crew figure? Well, they're facing forward. But, some went short hood forward. And the difference, well, steam engines had their cab in the back and the boiler in front of them. Now, E and F units, you would all of a sudden be in the front. And some steam engine crews did not like that because they were used to being in the back and you had more crash resistance. So that's why they had it long hood forward. Now, to give better vision, some crews would run it short hood forward instead. But this engine is a long hood forward engine. Here are more steps, couplers, more grab bars, lights, number boards, the other drop plate, the other handrails. Okay, now we've reviewed the engine, let's get it fired up. Fired up's another way to say started, by the way, but they're electric trains. Okay, so we've got it powered up. So here's the horn. Ah! Oh, hold on. Okay, here's the horn. Here's the bell. You can see the smoke fluid coming out, like the smoke coming out. Here are some RPM levels. Here's some RPM levels. That's the highest RPM level. Legacy engines have 8. I think this one has like 4. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now the smoke unit has really heated up. You can see it pretty well. Okay, so here's the directional line. So it's in forward, backwards. Okay, so we've got coupled up to some cars. Now some of these cars are a little newer than a GP7, but also the GP7 was retired in the 80s. So I guess it would be prototypical to pull pretty much every car on this, but some of the cars they're not really prototypical with each other. So I don't think it's really a big deal, but if you find it a really big deal, if you're not going to be very happy about like a steam era classic car being next to a very modern car, then don't watch it, I guess. But I think it's fine. So like I say, let's get rolling. So that was the end. So that's the end of this video. I'm the Model Train Master, and I'll see you next time.